Okay, welcome traders to the Trading Buddy Futures and Forex forecast for the week of January the 28th. I believe it is 29th. 29th. We're going to be ending January, getting into February. Really excited to continue to trade and see what the markets give us here. I've been waiting. Let's just jump right into the stock futures here. I've been waiting for a sell off in the stock market for a while. It just keeps being held up. Maybe through the tech, for the Nasdaq. We'll take a look maybe at the Nasdaq here really quick, but you can see that until we get below 48.75-ish, I'm still going to be very cautious about the sells. So this week was really choppy, and we just kind of took bite size from the market. Nothing really happened all that big this week on the stock futures. And so again, you can see that the last week I listened to it and I cut myself off. I said if this advanced decline line starts to come up and starts to break these levels, then it's just going to be really bullish from here on out. But it did make a rally here in the advanced decline line, but you can see it still has that divergence. And so the price is much higher than the advanced decline line. So I'm expecting downward movement here at the beginning of February. We just have to wait for it. It's not something that we can just hope for. So don't take your trades until it gives us a break of these probably even Tuesday, Wednesday, even Monday, Tuesday lows right in here uh, before we start looking at sells. So a break of that level of around 48.75, and then putting our stops above these highs, and then seeing if it comes back down to the 4,700 level. So we'll just have to wait and see on this. Let's take a quick look at the Nasdaq. In the last year, the Nasdaq has been so much stronger than the S&P. We've got the tech stocks, but you can see that it does follow pretty well, the advanced decline line as well. So we are actually getting a three-bar reversal here in the Nasdaq first, and these levels that we were looking at the ES, the Nasdaq's actually a little bit closer. So if it does start to sell off, I would expect it to come down, over the course of a couple weeks. 600 to 1,000 points. That's very possible before the next leg up. And so we'll be looking for sell signals in the stock futures. Another reason I'm looking for sells is that the commercials have sold more of the Russell than they have in a long time. And so the Russell 2000 has a broader spectrum of the market, and you can see that the price open interest volume, which is very similar to the advanced decline line, you can see that it's just way weak. And the Russell, where the ES and the NASDAQ have broken these highs, the Russell didn't even get back up to the highs. And so that shows us that divergence within the stock market itself, that the overall, 2000 speculative stocks that people can trade, that they are not very strong. And that's been the case for probably about a year now, but it does show a lagging of those stocks. And so I would expect if we're going to be selling, the Russell 2000 is a really great one to sell because it's been the weaker of the indices. Okay, let's take a look at silver and gold, precious metals. Silver and gold, silver came down quite a bit, but immediately recovered, and it's back into this range. So we're just in this range of just back and forth here, and I expect it to continue. I expect a little bit more buying, maybe up to the 24, even up to the 2450 level, up to these levels, and then back down, back and forth until we get some sort of indication that we need to hold more precious metals. But for now, it's just been in this holding pattern for quite a while. So I would expect it just to continue to bounce back and forth in this consolidation range. Gold has been a little bit stronger than silver, but recently it's just stayed even in a tighter range. So I think we're going to be coiling for a move here, and it could be going up to the upside if we get the break of this trend line back to the 2100, but it could easily get back down to this 2019 80 area. And so it's kind of just sitting in the middle of this consolidation. It could go either way. So be on the lookout for break of trend lines up here or break of support here and here. And I'm currently long. I've been waiting for a move back to this level up here, and it hasn't happened yet. So I've got my stops right in here, and if it breaks lower, we'll take the stop and we'll wait for a nice buy signal back to the upside a little bit later. But for now, if you're not in and you'd like to be in, you got to wait for a trend line break and wait uh, for maybe some volatility and some momentum to kick in. For now, just stay on the sidelines. The energy markets are starting to move. So with crude oil, I mentioned last week that we are looking for buy signals, and it had a perfect a trend line kind of break, and then a test back down, a perfect entry to go along here. It's been chopping around a little bit, but the last few days we've been getting that move back to this 78, possibly back up to the 80. So I expect this move to continue. I don't know how high it could keep going. It could go come all the way back up to the 90s. This commodity is capable of doing some big moves like that. But if you're not in, I would wait for a pullback. We got that on Friday where it broke above this on Thursday. See that? And then it pulled back on Friday, tested, and then went straight back up. So we may have missed the train if you're not on this already. I've got a small contract on. We'll just let the good times roll at this point with our stops here at 73.94. Here in natural gas, there's a nice bottom low here where we got a three-bar reversal and it coming back down and it's starting to form a higher low. So I dabbled a little bit. I've put on a long, anticipating that it stays above this low over here. So I've got a stop down in here of a few thousand. But if it can get back up into this range or even this range, it'll be a nice tiny profit, really good risk reward. And so I am now in this market on a small contract. We'll see what it does. But we'll be looking for this market to start going long, this seasonal pattern. If we look in the past, you can see that the beginning of the year, start of February, the last few years, we've gotten rallies in the natural gas market. So we'll be I'll be long here and holding on for the ride. And I keep waiting for the grain markets here, soybean. And soybean meal at SM is also one that is struggling here, but the commercials buying, if we pulled that up, your commitment to trader report shows that there's been more buying in these markets than the previous 3 years. And so I am expecting this rally to continue. This is kind of a break that we were looking for, a break of this downtrend and a test back down. So this could be the formation of a higher low. If it does break this, then you want to wait. If you're not in, just wait for Monday to see if it breaks that and then form a three-bar reversal to the upside. Or you want to buy in at Friday's high. If Monday it gets back to Friday's high, that's a buy signal. A more conservative is to wait for it to get to 1250 and then buy at 1250. So soybeans, I'm expecting to make a rally. Wheat is the same. Wheat has been stronger than soybean, and the commercials have been buying this, and there is a tendency for it to rally when you've got lots of inventory being bought up. So a lot of open interest being taken over by the large producers. So right here, Friday, we got a really big down day, and it came back down looking for possibly a sell signal, but I'm going to be looking for again. I'm still on one contract. It hasn't come down to hit my target, my stop here. So I'm just holding on for the ride here, and it hasn't been a very fun run. It's been long and arduous at this point, all this month. So we're just waiting to see if we can continue to try to break this trend line and get up to the 700s up here over the next couple of months. That's the plan. But we do have our stops in case we're wrong. So look for buy signals in the wheat market. I'm also still long the bond market, and this week basically did nothing. It just chopped around a little bit. So I'm waiting for this trend line to be broken and to grab another contract. And if can get back up to the 124 level, which is what I'm expecting, I'll be taking profits around this level up here. So if you're not long, look for a break of this trend and maybe a test back down, a formation of a higher low and then continuation up, and then put your stops below the previous pivot low. So my stops are actually below the 118 level, and they have gotten pretty close a couple of times, but we'll just see if we can get back up to the 124 and take some profits. All right, let's jump over to our Forex pairs. Start with the dollar yen. You can see that we chopped around this week. It came down, gave us a sell signal, but then came back up, and that is typical with the dollar yen. So I don't always take the right the first sell signal. We do have a condition here that we like with the ADX and stochastic overboughtness, with the trend starting to lose integrity. So this trend right here is losing integrity. I still think we could get possibly back down to this level right in here. And so we'll be looking for sell signals again in the dollar yen, but it could easily break above and get up to these previous highs. So be careful. This one, the carryover trade is still real and still alive, where holding the dollar is a lot more lucrative than holding the yen. So that's why we got prices going up. So be on the lookout for that. With the pound dollar, it has just been a chop fest this week, just been back and forth and back and forth. Depending on your strategy, that could be very advantageous in Forex. If you're swing trading, this is a week where you just want it, you just want it back, because it just takes a lot of time out of your trading when the markets don't move like this. But for scalpers and day traders, the back and forth can be very advantageous. At this point, I'll be looking for and waiting for uh, either side. Like I said last week, we got to break above this or break below this to get any significant move back to previous pivot points. And so we'll be watching for that and waiting for that, but I'm staying on the sidelines until we get a clear move. The euro against the dollar has been a little bit weaker, even though it's still been kind of a chop fest. On Wednesday, we got a big move that I thought was going to continue up to this pivot, but unfortunately, it came right back down, and then we've just kind of been stationary since. And so, again, what I'm expecting is this market to start moving up, and if not, we've got possibilities for it to come down to this pivot level right in here, and potentially take some buy signals there. But we take a look at the euro pound, the euro against the pound rather than the euro against the dollar. You can see that we are actually in a state here on the ADX and stochastic for a move to the upside. You can see we got it right here, and then the market moved up. So the euro could be in a position to be a little bit stronger than the pound in the next coming week or two. So I'm going to be looking to go long the euro, even if the pound is being a little bit weak. And ending with the euro yen, that's another one that I like to trade. I actually haven't traded this one in a while. This hasn't really given me a signal that I really like, and I haven't really been all that sure on what it wants to do here. I have been looking for sell signals. We mentioned that once it came up to this level, that we might be coming back down, and sure enough, we've got a little bit of an ADX and stochastic move to go down. So this could be a formation of a lower high if we get some sort of candle like that on Monday, and then a breakaway back to the downside on Tuesday, Wednesday. But really do have to wait to see what it wants to do. We can anticipate that if we want, but again, I'm going to be on the sidelines mostly for some of these Forex pairs, because I just don't have any clue what direction they want to go at this point of the year. And so I'm waiting for a move of out of these consolidation areas, and then we'll try to catch that wave once the wave shows us what direction it's going to go. Okay, well, that's going to be it for me this week. Really appreciate you joining me. And if there are any particular pairs that you'd like me to take a look at, be sure to reach me, Kevin at tradingbuddysystem.com. And if you're struggling with your trading, don't struggle alone. Be sure to reach out to me, see what we can do to help, and sign up on the website for a free one-on-one, and be happy to get to know you and bring you into the Trading Buddy system. Okay, thanks again so much. Wish you the best with your trading next week, and take care.